My ex-wife took the house, the kids, and even managed to freeze my bank account with some legal loophole. She thought she destroyed me, but I turned that rock bottom into the start of my comeback. Hi, Reddit. I+ here. My name's Daniel Cruz. I was 38 when my world fell apart. One night, I was curled up in the back seat of my 2006 Honda Civic, parked on the far edge of a Target lot just outside Denver. That tiny car had become my home after my divorce stripped me bare, emotionally and financially. Lena, my ex-wife, was relentless. With a sharp-tongued lawyer and a judge who seemed to take her side without question, she walked away with the house, primary custody of our 2 kids, and somehow froze my accounts. It was like watching someone set fire to everything I'd worked for and being forced to smile as the flames consumed it. I hadn't eaten in 3 days, and the only money I had left, $3.47, was in my pocket, reserved not for food but for gas. I had a job interview the next morning. If I didn't make it, everything would remain broken. The Civic reeked of fast food, sweat, and regret. The seats were stiff, the air stale. I wondered if it would be easier just to drive off on the nearby overpasses and end it. That's when I heard a knock on the window. My heart leapt into my throat. For a second, I feared security or the cops. But when I looked up, I saw her. An elderly woman, probably in her early 70s, stood under the dim orange light of the lot, holding a grocery bag. Her coat was frayed, her scarf patched, and her face was lined by time. Yet her eyes had a softness I wouldn't forget. I cracked the window an inch. Can I help you? I asked, bracing for scolding. She smiled, gentle and warm. Honey, I've seen you here the past few nights, she said. I work nights inside. Every time I leave, I see your car. You look like you could use a friend. Before I could respond, she slipped the bag through the crack in the window. Here, she said. Inside were a rotisserie chicken, a loaf of bread, an apple, and a thermos of coffee. My throat tightened. At the bottom was a small white envelope. She lightly touched my hand through the glass. I've been where you are, sweetheart. Rock bottom. It shows you who you really are and who truly cares. You're not alone. And just like that, she turned and walked to her car, a beat-up old Honda, even more tired-looking than mine. Within moments, she was gone. My hands shook as I opened the envelope. Inside was $50 in cash and a note that simply read, for gas, for food, for hope, Mary. No phone number, no expectations, just kindness. I broke down right there, sobbing so hard the windows fogged up. A stranger had given me more compassion than my own family had in months. The next morning, I used that gas money to get to my interview. I hadn't shaved. I was wearing the same wrinkled shirt for the 3rd day. But I made it. I fought through nerves and exhaustion, and somehow got the job. 6 months later, I had a small apartment. Nothing fancy, a 1-bedroom with peeling paint and a leaky faucet. But it was mine. Food in the fridge, clean sheets on the bed, a little cash in my account, and tucked inside my wallet was Mary's note. Every time I felt beaten down, I unfolded it. I could almost smell that coffee again, feel the warmth of her hand. 2 years later, I was finally stable. I had rebuilt my life brick by brick. One day, I knew it was time to find Mary and thank her properly. I went back to that Target and asked around, "Do you know a woman named Mary? She used to work nights here." Most shrugged. One older cashier's eyes lit up. Mary Whitaker? She retired last year. Lives on Maple Street, I think. I tracked her down. When she opened the door, her hair was grayer, her steps slower, but those same kind eyes met mine. "You probably remember me," I said, holding up the note like a badge. "But 2 years ago you gave me this. You fed me when I was starving. You saved me when I was ready to give up. And I'm here to tell you I made it." Tears welled in her eyes. "Oh, honey," she whispered, hugging me like home. I handed her an envelope with $5,000. "It's not nearly enough," I said, voice shaking. She shook her head. I didn't do it expecting anything back. Someone once did the same for me. That night, walking back to my car, I realized sometimes angels don't have wings. Sometimes they're just people in worn coats, doing small things that keep strangers alive. Because of Mary, I made it my mission to do the same, help someone quietly every year, just like she helped me. Over the next few years, life took turns I never expected. The job I got after Mary's kindness wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. I saved, invested, and eventually started my own freight brokerage. Long nights, sacrifice, and iron will paid off. By 43, I was thriving. I had a comfortable home, money in the bank, and my dignity back. But success attracts shadows. One evening, a letter arrived from a law firm. Lena was suing me, claiming I had hidden assets during our marriage, cheating her out of equitable property, and demanding a substantial settlement plus more child support. My blood boiled. This was the woman who left me with nothing, who watched me sleep in a car and go hungry. And now she wanted more. The court battle dragged on for months. Lena's crocodile tears, her lawyer's tricks, they didn't matter. I had learned from rock bottom. Bank records, tax returns, receipts, all documented. My lawyer dismantled her claims one by one, exposing them as greed wrapped in lies. During one hearing, Lena whispered across the courtroom, "You owe me this. You wouldn't even be here if it weren't for me." I just smiled. I wasn't standing there because of her. I was standing there because of Mary. In the end, the judge dismissed her case and even ordered her to pay part of my legal fees. Watching her disbelief was a moment of closure I hadn't realized I needed. After court, she tried one last time. Cornering me in the parking lot, tears streaming, she begged, "Daniel, we can start over. The kids are older now. We can make this work." For a second, old pain tugged at me. But I remembered those nights in the Civic, the hunger, the hopelessness, and how she left me without a second thought. "No, Lena," I said, "I already rebuilt my life once. I'm not tearing it down again." And I walked away. That night, I took out Mary's note. The edges were worn, the ink faded, but the words remained clear. For gas, for food, for hope. I realized then that the best revenge wasn't proving Lena wrong or destroying her in court. It was this: living well, moving on, and caring forward the kindness that saved me when no one else cared. And that's exactly what I did.